Well, happy holidays. This is Rev. Sheffield. I'm here with two of the most greatest servants, I think, in the state of Michigan, a governor and our lieutenant governor, Governor Whitmer, and, of course, Brother Gilchrist. Welcome to my show.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
First of all, I want to talk about a historical connection. I was sharing before we got started, I go back to Governor Swanson, so I've known a lot of governors, Phil Hart. These were people I spent time with in my house, and I just want to let you know, if you didn't know, that I think you're one of the greatest governors ever in the history of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
And I think you've done a fantastic job. I mean, in a tough time with all these various points of views and world views, I think you've done an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yep, and I really appreciate you. Of course, our history in the union movement with Nelson Jack Edwards. So let's start about schools. I think having been in that business and always wondering about, what the per pupil allocation was, I mean, we've really done a great job in increasing support to schools.
Yeah, we're really proud. I think my grandfather was superintendent of Pontiac schools for a long time, back in the 70s. And I was raised by public educators in the public education system, my kids also, and I know that the most important thing we can do for a person is give them a real opportunity through a great education. We've had historic discrepancies between districts. We closed those gaps. We built an equity on top by putting a lot more resources into English language learners, kids with special needs, our at-risk population. This year, on top of all these historic budgets, we are funding 100% free breakfast and lunch for all 1.4 million kids in Michigan. And this is a real game changer. I knew little kids would benefit from free meals. I didn't realize the disproportionate impact it would have on high schoolers and middle schoolers who didn't sign up for it because of the stigma. And now every kid's getting fed. And we all know if you're worried about where your next meal's coming, it's hard to pay attention to what's going on in the classroom. So we're doing a lot of good work. There's still more to do, but I feel very proud of what we've been able to get accomplished.
In terms of education, are there other things you want to highlight that your administration has been responsible for?
I mean, I'm excited about the foundation we're laying for the future when it comes to education partnership. We established a new My Leap department for lifelong learning, advancement, and potential in the state of Michigan. And the Office of Education Partnerships is going to be the one-stop shop for all these amazing programs we have in communities across the state of Michigan that are exposing kids to career opportunities, exposing them to different kinds of professions, exposing them to entrepreneurship. It's really going to let kids know they have options for how to make it in Michigan and how to be their best in Michigan. And I benefit from that as a kid going through the DABO program, and I know that others are going to benefit from whatever the next thing's going to be.
Well, having been in alternative education myself and run schools through DABO, where are we with adult ed and providing opportunities for kids? Many of my kids who came to my school worked full time. Their parents were incarcerated, so it's a different kind of hybrid education. What are we doing for those kids?
Well, so we've made these record investments in before and after school, and working with lots of employers to ensure that there is like apprenticeship opportunities. I signed into law the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. This knocks off thousands of dollars of whatever education a young person is able to pursue. For some people, it's a 4-year degree. For others, it's a 2-year program. For some, it's going right into the trades where you get paid to get skills. Like that's a union trade opportunity is sometimes the most amazing of all that you can do. But what we know is that every person has a different path. The Michigan Reconnect, which we enacted a few years ago, if you're 25 and older, you can go back to school free of charge and enhance your skill set. We lowered that age to 21, making it 350,000 more adults in Michigan available or eligible for it. So there's a lot of different paths to prosperity that we've tried to open up for people.
So I guess I should say you're responsible for, and I was wondering how this happened. I've been working with Dr. Ivy, Wayne County Community Colleges. We've recruited over 1,000 people, and now he came back and said we've got free tuition. Is that where that's coming from? Is that state-sponsored, funded?
Yes.
I think you should let people know. I think one of the biggest problems you have as a person like you is that people don't know what you actually do that they're enjoying.
Yeah, it's hard, I mean, a lot of people are just struggling to put food on the table. And so consuming all the different things that are out there is difficult. So I thank you for highlighting it.
Well, because they struggle and you've eased that burden, I want to make certain people understand if they're attending a community college for free, that's an initiative that comes under your administration.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's talk about the quality of air and water and things like that. You know, we're a beautiful state. Environment is a big issue. There's been some things related to that. Where do you stand on those kind of concerns?
So when we came into office, one of the things I thought was really important was making sure that we have a cabinet that represents the state, right? So the most diverse cabinet in Michigan history. We've had a real focus on equity and addressing communities that have higher pollution, because we know that that has all sorts of different challenges, right? This 100% clean energy standard that we just signed into law, the clean energy jobs that we are growing, the organization of state government to recognize the equity issues that often play out. We can't help but think of Flint or what happened in that important, beautiful city, and how when you had a leader who wasn't focused on listening to people, that the consequences can be dire. And so we've revamped government. We've put a lot of resources into helping school districts upgrade their water and their HVAC units. All of these are important ways to make sure that we're addressing kids' health in the process of their education.
And I've had the occasion to work with you around COVID. You headed the task force. Where are we with respect to what we've learned from that, with respect to our community not, being underserved and et cetera?
Well, Michigan was unique in that when the governor and I and our team, when we saw the deep disparities in how COVID-19 was impacting the Black community and other communities of color, we decided that we were not going to accept that. We did not want to accept that this virus was more deadly to some people than others, that we could do something to make sure everyone had a chance to survive this and to thrive. And so we started this task force on addressing racial disparities. And we were the state that was able to be successful because we worked with community partners like yourself and others around the state. In the places where the need was the most deep, we sent the most investment. We invented here in the state of Michigan, in partnership with Wayne State and Ford Motor Company, mobile health units that went directly and brought care to people. We connected people with doctors and with insurance. We have established now, thanks to a $50 million investment that we made in this year's state budget, going forward, community health zones that are really surging again, care, preventative services to people where they need it the most, to make sure people can be healthy regardless of whatever the next pandemic or the next flu season. The people can be better able to survive.
Well, I'm grateful and thankful for the help you've given us and enabled us to do that. We have 2 minutes left. What is the one thing you would love to see or you would wish to have happen in the last 2 years of your administration?
Well, I got 3. So
3 years.
Don't send me away too early.
I'm slow. I'm trying to. I'm just tied up with
no,
time.
I know. I'm just teasing it. No,
3 years.
I feel good about what we've done, but there's always more to do.
Sure.
I really would love to see us make strides when it comes to outcomes for kids in our education system. I think that's really important. I'd like to make sure that we continue to expand opportunity and grow our economy. And we did over $1 billion of tax relief for people by repealing the retirement tax and the earned income tax credits. So we're putting money in people's pockets, growing an economy. We got to just keep expanding this work.
And I really appreciate you getting rid of some of those taxes. I'll be 70 next year, and there's a big difference. We want to thank both of you and certainly appreciate the work and the service that you give to our citizens, and look forward to 3 more great years.
Thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right, same to you.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.